Have you ever thought about the immense engineering marvel that is the Panama Canal? Stretching approximately 50 miles across the narrow waist of Panama, this impressive waterway serves as a vital conduit for international maritime trade. Its story begins in the late 19th century, when a dream to connect the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans turned into reality. The Panama Canal is a testament to human ingenuity and perseverance. More than a century ago, workers from around the globe converged on this small Central American country. They faced immense challenges: tropical diseases, punishing heat, and the daunting task of carving a path through a mountain range. But their tireless efforts paid off, and in 1914, the Panama Canal opened to the world. The canal's impact on global trade has been profound. It revolutionized sea travel by eliminating the need for ships to take the long and treacherous journey around the tip of South America. Today, it serves as an essential artery for international commerce, carrying goods from around the globe. Fast forward to 2016, the Panama Canal underwent a significant expansion. This ambitious project, known as the Panama Canal Expansion, involved the construction of a new set of locks, allowing larger ships called New Panamax to traverse the canal. This expansion was a game-changer, increasing the canal's capacity and further cementing its role in global trade. But despite its grandeur and importance, the Panama Canal is not a static entity. It's a living, breathing testament to our ability to shape the world around us. It's a symbol of progress, but it's also a reminder of the challenges we face as we strive to balance the demands of a growing global economy with the finite resources of our planet. And so, while we marvel at the ingenuity that gave birth to the Panama Canal, we must also acknowledge the realities of its operation in a world that is constantly changing. But like any human-made structure, the Panama Canal is not without its limits. The Panama Canal is a busy waterway, but it's not unlimited in its capacity. Now let's dive into the technical limitations of this colossal conduit. See, the canal underwent an expansion in 2016, a major development that allowed for larger ships to pass through, but even with this expansion, there's a limit to how much traffic the canal can handle. Think of it like this. You've got a 4-lane highway that's just been expanded to 6 lanes. That's great, right? More lanes mean more cars can travel, but if the number of cars keeps growing, eventually even those 6 lanes won't be enough. That's the situation with the Panama Canal. The expansion was a significant step, but shipping demand is relentlessly growing. The world's need for goods isn't slowing down, and larger, more colossal vessels are being built to meet this demand. The canal, however, is not growing alongside these ships. It's like trying to park a Hummer in a compact car spot. You can do it, but it's not going to be easy. Moreover, as ships increase in size, the number of ships that can be accommodated at any given moment may not increase proportionately. It's like trying to fit more puzzle pieces into an already completed puzzle. You can only squeeze in so much before things start to get complicated. So, as the demand for shipping grows, the canal struggles to keep up. But it's not just the size and number of ships that are causing issues. You see, the Panama Canal relies heavily on a body of water known as Lake Gatun. This lake acts as a reservoir, supplying the necessary water to operate the canal's intricate system of locks. However, in recent years, Lake Gatun has been grappling with a rather pressing issue: water shortages. Drought, a natural disaster that is as devastating as it is unpredictable, has been severely impacting the water levels in Lake Gatun. Picture this: without sufficient water, the canal's locks cannot function at full capacity. This means fewer ships can traverse the canal, leading to increased delays and queues. The ripple effect of this situation is felt worldwide, affecting global trade dynamics and causing a significant slowdown in the delivery of goods. But here's the catch. Droughts are not just random occurrences. They are in fact directly linked to a much larger, more complex issue that we're all too familiar with: climate change. Climate change, the long-term alteration of temperature and typical weather patterns, is arguably the most significant factor exacerbating the challenges faced by the Panama Canal. It's not just about hotter summers or colder winters. Climate change is also about more extreme and less predictable weather. And with this unpredictability comes an increased frequency and severity of droughts. So, imagine this. The already strained Lake Gatun, grappling with water shortages, now has to contend with more frequent and severe droughts. The water levels in the lake could drop even further, and the canal's operations could be more severely impacted. This is the reality of the situation. The Panama Canal, an engineering marvel that has facilitated global trade for over a century, is now facing a significant environmental challenge. And this challenge is not a one-time hurdle. It's a recurrent issue, one that is likely to persist and even escalate with the ongoing climate change. With climate change, these problems are likely to become more frequent, posing a significant challenge for the canal's operation. So, what can be done to alleviate these challenges, you might ask? Well, there are a few solutions on the table, and let's dive right into them. Firstly, there's the creation of a new water reservoir. Think of it as a backup plan for Lake Gatun. This reservoir would serve as an additional source of water, reducing dependency on Lake Gatun and ensuring a steady supply even in times of drought. This solution could also potentially allow for more ships to pass through the canal at a time, tackling the issue of technical limitations. However, this is no small task. Constructing a new reservoir is a massive project, requiring not only a significant financial investment, but also a substantial amount of time to complete. Another proposed solution is rerouting water through an underground pipeline. This could act as a bypass for the canal, allowing water to flow more freely and efficiently. Such a pipeline could help manage the water levels in Lake Gatun, ensuring that the canal can continue to operate even when the lake's water levels are low. Again, this solution isn't without its challenges. The construction of an underground pipeline involves complex engineering, not to mention the considerable cost and time involved. It also requires careful planning and approval to ensure that it doesn't adversely impact the surrounding environment. While these solutions are promising, it's important to remember that they're not quick fixes. Both require a significant amount of time, money, and planning to implement. Not to mention they need to be integrated into the existing infrastructure of the canal in a way that doesn't disrupt its operation. And of course, they need to be approved by various stakeholders, including government bodies and environmental groups. Moreover, these solutions address the symptoms of the problem, not the root cause. They help mitigate the impact of climate change on the canal's operation, but they don't tackle climate change itself. Addressing this underlying issue is a global responsibility, requiring worldwide commitment to sustainable practices and policies. In conclusion, the challenges facing the Panama Canal are complex and multifaceted, intertwining infrastructure, environmental factors, and global trade dynamics. The solutions, too, are complex, requiring long-term planning, substantial investment, and a holistic approach that considers not just the canal but the broader context in which it operates. These solutions offer hope for the future, but they're not quick fixes. The Panama Canal's challenges are complex and require long-term planning and investment. But with the right approach and the commitment to making it work, we can ensure that this engineering marvel continues to serve the world for many years to come. The Panama Canal is a testament to human ingenuity, but it also highlights our vulnerability to the forces of nature. As we've discussed, the Panama Canal stands as a marvelous feat of engineering, connecting two of the world's largest oceans and serving as a critical conduit for global trade. However, its operation is not without its challenges. The increasing demand for shipping, coupled with the sheer scale of modern vessels, puts a strain on the canal's capacity, despite the notable expansion in 2016. The canal's operation is also deeply intertwined with the environmental conditions of its locale. Lake Gatun, a pivotal part of the canal's operation, has been grappling with water shortages. Its role as a water reservoir for operating the locks makes it indispensable, and low water levels can cripple the canal's full functionality. This situation is further aggravated by the unpredictable weather patterns and the increased frequency and severity of droughts, courtesy of climate change. The challenges that the Panama Canal faces are a stark reminder of the delicate balance between infrastructure and the environment. They underscore the need for long-term sustainable solutions that can withstand the test of time and unpredictable weather patterns. The creation of a new water reservoir and rerouting water through an underground pipeline have been proposed as potential solutions. These projects, while promising, require substantial investment, time, and approval. As we look to the future, these challenges and potential solutions paint a complex picture. The Panama Canal's story is not just about engineering and global trade, it's about our relationship with the environment, the impact of our actions, and the need for sustainable solutions. It's a narrative that's likely to become increasingly relevant in the years to come, as we continue to grapple with the impacts of climate change on our world and our infrastructure. As we continue to grapple with these challenges, the Panama Canal's future will serve as a compelling case study in the interplay of infrastructure, environmental factors, and global trade dynamics.